I guess it's a good thing we finished. My wife, she finished harrowing that field. I went out and finished where my dad was working so he could come in and have supper. It was getting pretty late already. So we are done. We didn't certainly get as much as was on the docket for the fall, but I've definitely said that over and over again about up here in northern Alberta. You are limited by the weather. So, you know, I had planned to do this trailer, I had planned to do all these things. That axle yesterday, holy man, that gave me a run for my money. Actually, what I ended up doing, believe it or not, is once I had both the axles out on either side, I had the good axle pulled out so I could pound the broken one through the other side. We couldn't get it. Like, I was hitting it with a hammer and everything, and it should have went. I don't actually know what made it stuck. A buddy of mine is a mechanic, so when I get together with him next time, I'm going to ask him what makes him stick in there. But I just fired the truck up and I threw it in gear. So, of course, with no axles in there, the tires didn't spin. And while the transmission was turning, I smashed at that axle and it finally popped out. So I don't know if there's a thing in there that can make it be out of alignment or whatever, or be crooked or something. But anyways, we did get it. So we got inside projects to do today. I'm not going to work outside. I do have to make a bag for a neighbor up the road, but it's just one bag, so I will do that at some point, and then he can come over when he's done work. I'm going to do all these nozzles though today. Take them all off, put them all in a bucket. So, and then there's a ton of cleaning up to do in the shop, because when it's just back in northern Alberta, it's always crunch time. Okay, so unless you're like super organized and you have like a really nice shop and all, you know, minimal tools and stuff like that, it's hard to get anything managed properly with any bit of organization or anything, because you're running in and out, and it takes you 2 or 3 minutes to gather up the tools, you know, however long to do the job, and you don't want to spend 5 or 10 minutes putting them away, so you run in and you throw them on the counter and you get right back to what you're doing, because it's going to snow in 5 minutes. So that's why it's not that we're just like completely neglectful people and just, you know, filthy transients running about and just, you know, leaving destruction in our path for no reason. It's all because you're just always under the wire around here, it seems. There's so much to do. If you've got, you know, any number of acres, you know, you want to do this fall application, you want to put this chemical down, you got to work it within 12 hours of putting it down. Do you even have 12 hours? Then the hitch breaks and the packers fall off the harrows and so you just, I don't know. Life is a disaster. So that's why the shops end up looking the way they do. It has nothing to do with your ability to be clean or organized. In fact, it has everything to do with having no time to do it. Okay, one side done. I did the other side. A couple on the back. I'm going to fill those coffee cans up with soap and water. Good morning. We have yet another shining victory for the global warming alarmists. I think I was reading last night, it's like a record cold snap for Alberta. And it's just unbelievably cold because like it's only -8 degrees Celsius right now, but with that little bit of wind and the humidity from the fall that hasn't seemed to disperse yet, like we haven't transitioned into the dry winters that we get, we're still like in the middle. It's unbelievably cold. I've definitely openly admitted to quite a few people over the years, the coldest I'd ever been was in Oklahoma when I lived down there and worked down there, because they do get a little bit of cold, and they get right off all the water right off or all the humidity from being close to the Gulf, and that's unbelievably cold. And I just about got ate by a garbage can. Hold on. This cold reminds me very much of that yesterday and today. So even though it's only -8, it's just and the fact that we're not ready for it, I guess. You know, the northerners, we haven't blood hasn't thickened up yet, and we haven't found our woolies that's still buried in with the Christmas tree decorations. So first things I got to do, had a guy phone this morning. He wants a couple bags. I should show you the shed here. This is getting out of hand. Because yesterday warmed up quite a bit. The ground was pretty muddy, so I started to stack everything in the shed. But there's just a fortune of bags in here. There's 4 over there, and there's 3 over there, and then there's 8, 9, 10, 11 or something over there. So definitely lots of people to come and pick up bags. We are going to have a late Thanksgiving dinner today at my mom and dad's house. They were gone over the Thanksgiving long weekend, so we're going to do it this weekend. So once I get these 2 bags made up, I'm going to head in, I'm going to put the antifreeze in that sprayer, wait for people to come pick up bags. Supper's not till 1 or 2, so there's a few people that wanted to come get their bags today before noon, so I'll be here loading them up, and we'll see what other shenanigans we can get into before supper. Hey there, so it's Sunday morning now, getting close to noon, I guess. I got a couple bags to make. I had a bunch of people show up yesterday morning to pick up their bags, and then we had a late Thanksgiving dinner, I guess, over at my mom and dad's, because they were gone over the long weekend, last weekend, so we did it this weekend, which was kind of nice because then you get 2 turkey dinners a week apart from each other. Pretty cold. I think it was down to, I didn't actually check the low, -14, 15 last night. That's kind of chilly for October. So I didn't have any tractors plugged in. I wasn't actually planning to do anything on Sunday, but I got some people coming up from Grand Cache to pick up their bags, and I got a few more to make, so I'm gonna get the tractors fired up if everything starts here, and then make a few bags. Then we're gonna run over. The neighbor's got a bit of peas there, another one of the situations where not enough to make a big load, so I'll go over there, and if they're decent enough, I'll bring them back here, and we'll grind them up. Get some out of his hair, because from what I understand, he can't do nothing with them. So we will see what we can get started here. That's the unfortunates of life in northern Alberta. So I never had anything plugged in. Like I say, I wasn't actually planning on doing a whole bunch of feed milling today, but I'm gonna plug this tractor in for a little bit. It won't take very long, probably if I brought the other one over and boosted it, it would start right away. It's just not spinning fast enough. So the other one probably will start. I think this one actually would benefit from some fuel filters too. And, just a minute here. This is part of the problem. My ether can thing gave out, so it's actually not spraying the ether into there. So if it was, it probably would have went.